Hiring shouldn't be a hassle or a drain on your budget. Upwork is your one-stop shop to find, hire, and pay top freelance talent, saving you time and keeping costs in check, all in one place. Do you know the secret to businesses that are scaling faster than ever? They're using Upwork to tap into a diverse pool of skilled freelancers across various industries. With more than 2 decades of experience, with a simple and ambitious goal, to pioneer a better way of working. Posting a job on Upwork is easy. No cost to join. You can register, browse freelancer profiles, get help drafting a post, or even book a consultation. From there, you connect with freelancers that get you and can easily hire them to take your business to the next level. Upwork makes the entire process easier, simpler, and more affordable with industry-low fees. Visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That's Upwork.com to post your job for free and connect with the top talent ready to help your business grow. That's UPWORK.com. Upwork.com.
Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, the Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Hiring shouldn't be a hassle or a drain on your budget. Upwork is your one-stop shop to find, hire, and pay top freelance talent, saving you time and keeping costs in check, all in one place. Do you know the secret to businesses that are scaling faster than ever? They're using Upwork to tap into a diverse pool of skilled freelancers across various industries. With more than 2 decades of experience, with a simple and ambitious goal, to pioneer a better way of working. Posting a job on Upwork is easy. No cost to join. You can register, browse freelancer profiles, get help drafting a post, or even book a consultation. From there, you connect with freelancers that get you and can easily hire them to take your business to the next level. Upwork makes the entire process easier, simpler, and more affordable with industry-low fees. Visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That's Upwork.com to post your job for free and connect with the top talent ready to help your business grow. That's UPWORK.com. Upwork.com.
Bossman Show. You're seeing from Atlanta Hawks, now Coach Sacramento State. It's Mike Bibby on the Bossman Show. Mike, what's up, man? Good to see you again.
Good to see you too, man. Thanks for having me on.
No doubt, man. Let me ask you, man. I gotta ask, where'd you get this bud, the coach, man, that want to do this thing, man? I know you was a heck of a player, man. So when should I gotta get the bud, the coach?
It happened a long time ago. You know, my son was 9 years old, and I had my little AAU team. So I'm the one that started all the team Bibby and the team, whatever they got going. You know, our first AAU team 18 years ago, my AAU team was called Team Bibby, and it was just, trying to get these guys to go play the right way, coach them, make sure they're getting the right teaching and stuff. And I just thought it was just just helping them doing that. But then once my son got to high school, his first year, freshman, I had retired that year I already played with the Knicks. That was my last year, and I watched what was going on in that program at my old high school. And, I didn't like it. And, I was real close to the athletic director, and I just told him, like, hey, I'm taking my son out of there after this year. I don't like what's going on, just the practices and the way things are being set up. I don't like it. I'm going to take it somewhere else. And he was like, well, what would you want to coach here? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll try high school coaching. Let me try high school coaching. I fell in love with it. I just always liked teaching. My thing is I like to teach kids. And, when I got to the high school, we had a long run in Phoenix. And it was just good to give back to the kids that, try to get them to go to Division I school or go play basketball somewhere else after they left me.
No doubt. And Mike Merskis, man, you play with some great coaches. So how much have you borrowed from each guy that you played for to kind of make it your style and to kind of coach the way you want to coach now?
I mean, I took after everybody. My favorites was Rick Alderman, Coach Olson, and Mike Woodson. Those were a lot of the guys that I took a lot of my stuff from. Coach Olson, just giving the kids. At college, I seen a lot. My son went through a lot when he was at college. Not with all of his coaches, but with some of them, and just tearing their confidence down and giving the kid not letting them go out there and play basketball how he knows how to play it. And Coach Olson, when I was at Arizona, on that championship run we had, after the first two games, you could see I kind of jumped onto the scene even further when he said, he put me in front of the team and said, hey, Mike, I need you to play how we recruited you to play. We need you to play like that. When he gave me that confidence, it was a whole different ball game for me. I felt like he had the trust in me, and I just went out there and played. So I took that from him. Like the offensive sets and how to play and give these guys confidence. Let these guys go out there play. Rick out and just let us play to our strengths. And with Woodson, I got a lot of X and O's from Mike Woodson. So I've taken a lot of stuff from a lot of the guys that I've had and just implemented it into my style.
And Mike, we can kind of come full circle. Woody's now lead assistant coach for the Kings now, and you're a coach at Sacramento State. Talk about how life is, man. You've all back in the same city coaching. He's back as associate head coach now. You're leading the Sacramento State Hornets.
It is good. I bumped into him a few times. Went and hung out with him at a cigar lounge a few times. So like I said, he was probably my favorite coach and probably best all around coach as far as a player's coach. And I'd be in his office every day in Atlanta, just trying to figure out how the guys felt and how I felt and what we're going to do next. And it was just good to be around to where, now he's back. I'm glad he got his foot back in the door. Even after Atlanta, I don't think that he got the right end of the stick over there, winning 54 games or whatever it was that he won over there and not get hired back. It's a travesty to see something happen like that with the coach. A lot of these coaches don't reach 54 games in 2-3 years. So for him to get in one and not to get the job, it sucked.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. That was my first year covering the NBA just to see that, like, he won 50 games and now he's gone. Even in me as a rookie media dude, I'm like, it don't make no sense to me.
That's how it goes sometimes. But he kept his foot in there. He coached at Indiana for a few years, and then he come back. I think Sacramento's hire and Doug Christie and Bobby Jackson was a great hire, and I think it's just as good hire to hire Mike Woodson and get some of his knowledge.
No doubt. Well, I have one more question about Atlanta, Mike. Is this, man? Talk about the environment playing at Phillips Arena back in the day with Ryan Cameron and the organizers, like how the crowd would get hyped when making those runs, man. How cool was it to be in that arena when y'all was doing your thing, man?
It was good, Mike Bibby for three. I still hear it today. When I came there, when I played there on an opposing team, it wasn't really because they weren't really winning that much. I think when we came in, when my first year there, half year through there, we took Boston to 7 games just to see how they exploded and how everybody came out and starting to respect the game of in Atlanta basketball and just come out there and show their support. It continued the whole year I was there, and I loved playing there.
No doubt, man. And Mike, for you, man, what your guys doing with your pedigree, man, this summer, has it been a lot of team stuff, or you doing more like letting them play to kind of figure out what you have because you have a whole new roster?
I got to teach them stuff. A lot of these kids coming in, we're running the kids that say, we've never seen this in the 4 years that I've been playing. Like no one's ever taught us anything to this level that we're teaching. So my main thing is just to get them on the same page with each other, have them learn to play with each other instead of everything trying to go one-on-one. And, you play there good, everything will work out. You trust in your teammates. We have a lot of camaraderie stuff, bowling, top golf, stuff to where they could go hang out. We had them here all in the same apartment complex just so they could get around each other, hang out with each other. And, everybody on the team is real close. And, I think it's going to help us a lot.
No doubt, man. And Mike, for you, and teaching these young men about being healthy, and because it's a long year, about eating the right way, the rehab, and the sleep aspect of it. Talk about that. Teach these young men about how to condition their bodies for a long year and play the style you want them to play.
They're still young, though. Even when I was younger, I was still eating. I was still eating trash and doing stuff. We got guys that will help them with that. And my main thing is just try to make sure that they're good young men, they're respectful young men, and help them grow off the court just as much on the basketball court.
And you kind of mentioned my next question I had for you. What's the pillars of your program that a young man must have to be a part of your program? What the values and core values of your program you want people to hear this interview back here in Atlanta and say, I might want to send my son out there and play for you?
Somebody that wants to learn and somebody that's tough. It's not, I'm going to hold these kids accountable. I told them from the start, I'm not here to coddle y'all. And I told them that from leaving here, you're going to be able to learn how to do stuff yourself. You got a family environment here. I got my cousin, my son's coaching with me as well. And just to learn to grow up and, you'll be in situations to where you can either make this decision or that decision, and one's going to get you in trouble. You got to make the right one because there's a chance for everybody to go play basketball pro, whether it's NBA or overseas. There's a good way to make some good money. It's not the $80 million and stuff that the NBA is making right now a year, but it's still a good amount of money monthly to where you can take care of your family and you can raise a family.
No doubt. And you're going to train these young men on how to be a professional. I think that's the best thing about it because a lot of guys don't have that opportunity to play for a guy who knows what they're trying to achieve. You can teach them how to be professional, so it takes on off the floor, the dedication, the grind, and get the work. Because some guys think, well, I went to practice, it's all good. No, you got to do work after practice. You got to go get more shots up. You have to go do more working out. So talk about that piece, Mike, as well.
I just told him, I just like the first day, who raise your hand if you got an extra working day? 2 people out of the 14 raised their hand. And I'm like, who here is trying to go to the NBA? Everybody raised their hand. I said, but that ain't gonna work, right? I used to make 700 shots a day in between pickup games. So I go to the LA Fitness and sit there and shoot 4 shots while they're down the other side of the basket. Wait till they come back and go back. And I made 700 shots that way. I used to be in the gym 4, 5, 6 hours getting up shots that way. Once I told myself, once I get enough money, I'm gonna put a gym in my house where I don't have to wait for it anymore for people to shoot. So I end up getting a gym in my house. But the first couple of years I was in the league, I had to shoot that way. And I made sure that I stayed, the 500, 700 makes a day to where now my jumper is second nature.
No doubt, man. That work paid off. You was my bomb him threes for sure. You've been knocking them down from all over the place, man, for sure. And Mike, for you, man, with the NIL and the portal, betting a young man now, knowing he really loves basketball, he's in it for the money. How do you go about betting that with a young man figuring out where his why is, why he wants to be a part of your program and play basketball?
I'm glad, I wish growing up, I wish when I was in college, I would have had a little bit of money. They're getting a lot now, and it's kind of taking away the hunger. And I think the way a kid comes in, and a kid could easily say, I don't have to listen to you. I make more money than you. You know what I mean? That's easy to say nowadays. And like I said, I'm glad that it wasn't. I mean, I would have loved to have it when I was playing, but I think that would have took my hunger, because my hunger was like, I gotta go out and feed my family. I got to make sure I make it. And you know what I mean? Like, we've had a few kids that come in. The first thing they ask is, um, who's ahead of me? Who else are you recruiting? How much money I get? And I don't want those type of kids. You know, every kid that we have, money wasn't the first question on their list. And you know, what I mean, there was probably maybe one, maybe that, you know, maybe later down the line. And I know that he deserved money, but I want a guy that's going to come in here and work hard, and that's hungry, that's going to push himself and listen to a coach to get you to that next level. I want the best for everybody on our team. I'm gonna be tough on you to push you to be better. You know what I mean? A lot of these coaches will let you get away with stuff at the next level you're not gonna get away with. And like I said, that's a part of my coaching that I'm gonna do, just try to groom them as a young man to be respectful, good people, and a good human being.
You know what, Mike? You know, my dad's a high school coach in Atlanta. You know, he always put it in me to do the next right thing. And whatever that next right thing, he always told me about having a routine every day. So even me, 40 years old, I still go out and walk every morning. I still shoot ball in my backyard because of what my dad put in me as a 4-year-old. So I'm still getting shots up at 40 years old in my backyard. So talk about having a routine and having a plan every day. Having a purpose for your day as a young man.
I mean, just for them, it's just like we have stuff that we have time set up. They could always get their own work in afterwards. But like I said, there was a quote I read from Kobe. It was yesterday, that I shouldn't have to motivate you to be in the gym. If I have to motivate you to be in the gym, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to make you great. And like, you got to want to do it. You got to want to do it yourself. And, you know, I didn't realize that till I got to college. And, you know, I was never really a shooter. In high school, I was a scorer. Like, I averaged 35 points for 2 years, but I could score I could shoot threes, but I wasn't really a shooter. And I didn't really have to do extra work in high school because I was a lot better than the guys. So, you know, now I look back at it now, it's like, if I would have started a little bit earlier, who knows what it would have been. You know, I got in the gym with Josh Paston when I was a freshman. And, you know, we sat there and shot, 100 makes every day to start out, just me and him. And, you know, he worked with me my shot. And eventually I got turned into a jump shooter. So, you know, now it's more known as a jump shooter instead of just a pure scorer. So, I mean, it takes a lot of hard work. And I don't think these kids understand. You got people that are behind them want the money more than them. And that's not good. And, you know, I mean, everybody's telling these kids, oh, you're pros. Not everybody's a pro. And, like, you got to be able to put in that effort. And what you think that is doing enough is not. You know, you got 10 million, 20 million kids out there trying to fill 400 spots. Are you going to be one of those 400 spots?
No doubt, Mike. And for you, man, I'm asking about scheduling games, man. How are you going to approach scheduling games non-conference? I know you have to get ball a little bit, but how are you going to schedule these games for your team and compete in that big sky, hopefully going to that big dance, man?
I mean, like, I'm not going to duck anything. You know, we play UCLA, we play Baylor, we play Cal. Those are the biggest teams that we play right now. And my thing is, everybody's like, well, you don't want to get beat up so early. I said, I don't care the beatings that we take. That will help you grow. You take beatings. You know what I mean? And I don't think that we're going to take beatings. You know, I have a good feeling that we could come out and beat these teams. I don't care what school you're at, how much money you have. I'm putting in more effort than a lot of these coaches are putting in. And I know these kids are going to be ready to play. And my main thing is to get them ready for our conference play in our conference tournament, because we need to win that. We need to win the conference tournament in order to go to the NCAA tournament. So that's the biggest thing on our goal. The first game of the season don't mean nothing when you're at the end. So.
No doubt, man. It's them days in Boise that matter at your level. So, yeah, you're right. Main thing is having your guys healthy so you can compete in those 2 days in Boise. That's the main. It's all that really matters is those 3 days in Boise.
Yeah, that's all we're waiting for, man. Like, that's our main goal. I mean, we set goals for ourselves, you know, win 20-plus games in the season. But we want to play, like I said, I've done that even in the high school. We're the only public school to be in Geico's national championship tournament for 2 years in a row. We're the only public school. Maybe Brandon Roy's team made it after us, but, we played 50, 60 pros throughout the year, in a matter of 2, 3, 4 years. And it got us ready for our tournaments in Arizona. The schools we play there, we go on a 4-game winning streak in Arizona, a 4-year winning streak in Arizona to where we don't lose. We lose one game by a half-court shot. It would have been 80 to 90 games after that. But that's our main thing, just get them ready for our conference play and get them ready to play big competition. So when we come to play the more mid-level schools, we'll be ready to play.
Mike, I got two more for you, man. I want to ask you about, you mentioned Josh Pastner. Talk about him, man. He's a good friend of mine. He's a great guy, Georgia Tech here with Memphis. So talk about his growth as a coach and seeing him, what he's done as a coach and on TV as a commentator as well. It's really good at TV as well. He was on TV.
He's a good motivator. Like I said, he pushed me and got me to where I was at. Like I said, he had me in the gym, and he always told me to snap my wrist. And had good talks. He was my roommate for a little bit, but he didn't want to play us this year, so I'm mad at him. But other than that, Josh is a great guy. I love his dad and his family. So, it was just good to see Josh getting a job, at a high profile school at UNLV. So glad he's back in the business.
And last one, Mike, talk about for your players, man, being in Sacramento, the capital of California, the opportunities for them to get networking-wise or internship-wise. But the student athletes part is still important. They can really network. They use that talent right out there, the people they can run into to help them off the basketball.
It's good. Like, a lot of people don't understand, like, the conference we're in, a lot of these places, like I said, we're the capital of California. And you get these places, like small places like in Montana and Idaho and stuff like that, to where a lot of these guys aren't getting the same kind of treatment that our kids are getting out here. Like you said, it's a lot of stuff that they could do out here. And, I don't want to say get in trouble, but there's a lot of stuff that these other cities and other places that they'll be playing don't have. And, these kids have to understand you're in a good situation right now. You got to make the best of it.
No doubt. Well, Mike, it's good to connect with you again, man. It's been a long time since I was a little punk young reporter. It's been done for since a rookie. So thank you for answering my questions, man.
All good.
Back in 2009.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on.
It was fun, man. Good to see you. Best of luck to you, brother.
You too, man. Thanks.
Hiring shouldn't be a hassle or a drain on your budget. Upwork is your one-stop shop to find, hire, and pay top freelance talent, saving you time and keeping costs in check, all in one place. Do you know the secret to businesses that are scaling faster than ever? They're using Upwork to tap into a diverse pool of skilled freelancers across various industries. With more than 2 decades of experience, with a simple and ambitious goal, to pioneer a better way of working. Posting a job on Upwork is easy. No cost to join. You can register, browse freelancer profiles, get help drafting a post, or even book a consultation. From there, you connect with freelancers that get you and can easily hire them to take your business to the next level. Upwork makes the entire process easier, simpler, and more affordable with industry-low fees. Visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That's Upwork.com to post your job for free and connect with the top talent ready to help your business grow. That's UPWORK.com. Upwork.com.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z. Sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews. You name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Check The King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your Radio.
Listen to the Boss Man Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.